Well, that's a one dead zombie. All right. So this gives you an idea of the village generation in B Team. It's pretty good. The wall generates with it, which is nice. Gives you kind of a semi-protected village, even though you can still get zombies, monsters spawning in it. This is not a very dense village, but I mean, it's got the potential to have so much added to it. Um, Light it up on the inside, put doors on the portcullises or whatever you want to call them on the gates there to keep monsters from coming in. And I mean, it's a hell of a village. There's the little smeltery right there that I was telling you about that spawns in. You got a bunch of different buildings, a couple of different tankers. You got a couple of smithies, a little church-looking thing there, a defensive tower, a grain mill, plenty of fields. Um, it's a decent little town with a wall on it. Now, the kind of things you can do with a town like this is you can rule over it with a castle. I mean, that's a fucking castle. Just throwing that out there. Probably shouldn't cuss. But, to put it in perspective, there used to be a mountain here. There used to be a mountain about that size there. That's all that's left of it, that little back corner. I completely removed it to put my castle where I wanted it. Used a lot of the stone for the actual castle itself. There's cherry wood, like the good cherry, that stuff back there. Had to plant a whole friggin' orchard of it to have a good supply. Keep the inside lit up as well as I can. Didn't mean to show you that yet. As well as I can. I mean, there's plenty of room to add stuff in here. But for the most part, it is a pretty defensible castle. I like the design. This is an older design. Actually, the date on the save file is like late 2016 to give you an idea of how long ago I did this. So I've actually come up with a couple of different methods of doing things since then, but this is one of my big castles. And you can hide all your dirty secrets inside it. You got all your different mine factory stuff, all your different tanks and Tinker's construct, your water supply, your storage devices for storing large quantities of ore. Oop, wrong button. You got your smeltery, where you can smelt all the different metals. That's just what I got left of those. I honestly don't remember where everything's at. ATM for your cash. The one lonely bed. I never really finished designing this one. I mean, it took me about a week of hard playing back before Kelly moved down to really put this together. So a lot of free time on my own. Hide your power generation down here. You pump the wood into these. They turn the wood very quickly into charcoal. Charcoal pops out, comes down here, gets stored. As these need it, they pull charcoal out with the water from the water source down there. Steam generation. I got, what is that, 12? I just got 12 going, not a lot. But, it generates power. Have the power conduits, or flux ducts, running underneath, go into all my different components so that they work. Now, of course, there's a freaking storm rolling up. This is a damn tornado. It's always tornadoes. Anyways, I've got automated wood production out here. It creates slag, which you have to burn off, which is bad for you. You don't want to get inside those little squirrely birds that poison you. But there's byproducts, all sorts of randomly generated byproducts. And the ones that I use the most are out here. It actually generates 2 different types of dirt that don't stack, so that's kind of weird. So I got that for the majority of the dirt. I got clay blocks down there, and then I got sand here, the most commonly used stuff. But it makes other things. I've got all my apple trees that I've made that just constantly produce apples. Got my nether gate just out here, so whenever random nether zombie pigmen or whatever you want to call them come out, they're out here where they ain't hurting nobody. I mean, I just got this far, which was a massive amount of work and kind of burned out. But there is... Oh, this one isn't that one. Okay, no, this one... spawner that I've got back here, buried nice and dark, to create good loot. Not a lot in here right now, but that's the auto spawner. You fill it with power, fuel, and there you go. See, mob essence is the fuel. Obviously, power's power. And you stick a reusable ball, reusable safari net, blaze, zombies, skeletons, ghasts. That, by the way, is in wither skeleton. Regular skeletons say the same thing. Enderman. And as long as it's got power and fuel, it takes a lot, but power and fuel, it will produce those mobs. Then they get automatically harvested, which spits out a bit of mob essence. And loot. And voila. I bet you $5. I got this on peaceful. Oh, wow. I guess I owe you $5. So yeah, that's the kind of things you can do in this mod pack. Just a quick overview. I was going to start from scratch and do a whole video, but oh, it's just so much. I mean, like I said, this right here took weeks. Well over a week, at least. But I mean, you can just make so much beautiful stuff. Now, B-Team has drawbridges, which I kind of wish C-Team had, because the drawbridge you can point upwards and make it a gate, or point downwards and make it a portcullis. And then, of course, also have the drawbridge come out over a moat or something. This, there is a moat, kind of. Doesn't have water in it, but there's a raised section here that, you know, separates the castle walls, the castle proper, from the interior of the city. But I mean, come on. You gotta admit, that's a damn good looking castle. And then if you want to see something cool, that's what it looks like on a mini-map. The mini-map, or journey map, each one of these grid squares is a 16 by 16 chunk. To give you an idea of how big this is. It's 64 blocks, or it barely fits inside a 64 block by 64 block for the castle proper. It's a big castle. So much room for fun. So yeah. Home sweet home.